Hello, my name is Melissa R. Thompson, or M for short. Pets are the animal companions that stick with you thick and thin, and all they ask for you is affection and food, which is a fair deal. As someone who was raised on a small farm, you can literally find companionship with any animal. And I have always been a big animal lover. To be fair, it's pretty hard to hate on animals. They're just little gremlins that do their own little thing, and if you own and love them, then they're your gremlin. I just happen to own a lot of animals, and I also like to imagine, what are they thinking? What are their concerns and opinions? What are their politics? What do they stand for, and what heels are they willing to die on? I'll probably never know, but what I can do is design my pets if they're humans. This is just a turning pets into humans video, so let's just hop into it. First up is my boy, Richard. Richard is one of the youngest pets I have, but being one of the youngest, he gets away with a lot. It isn't on purpose. I just didn't want to be mean to him when he was such a loving kitten. And when he was little, I would give him scraps of my food. For a while, my family could only afford to cook chicken and rice for dinner. My mom usually likes to flavor the chicken with tomatoes. For this reason, I was confident in giving him pieces of my chicken. At first, he was very polite and wouldn't ask for food unless I addressed him. It was very cute, as he would sit on my lap to eat with me, and I saw no harm in it. But now, he's a little gremlin that waits for me at my door when I come home from work, because he knows I allow him to sit on my lap, and he literally tries to steal my food when I eat. So I fully believe as a human, he would constantly try to steal food from people's meals. And heck, he'll just steal food just to mess with you. When he literally can't eat any of my food, whether if it's too seasoned or there's no meat, he tries to steal it. I remember he literally stole a strawberry from me, and he just took it for the sake of taking it. He didn't even eat it at all. So I expect human Richard would steal your food just to make you annoyed. I made Richard's ethnicity, as well as most of my other pets, Navajo, as most were born on the Navajo Nation, so it made sense. I actually found him in my neighborhood. My neighborhood has a bit of a dog problem, so not many stray cats make it, so it was a miracle he made it that far being so little. I would say he wasn't actually that small, as he could already eat hard food when we found him. We quickly took him in, and that's where he has been since. He's also one of the biggest cats I own, hence why I would think he would be taller than me. However, since he is the biggest, he can get very rough when playing. I try to help his boredom by playing with him every day, and also clipping his nails since he's bigger and taller than all the other cats. He's even too much for our most playful cats that aren't in this video, but surprisingly gentle with the smaller girl cats. I hope to buy more toys because the only toy I have is a broken string toy that has a hair tie on the end. I mean, it does its job to entertain my cats, but I would like to buy a toy that can play with them more. As you can guess, Richard constantly gets in trouble. So much that he even knows his own name. He mostly comes when I call him or just turns his head, because the only reason I would call him is to make him stop whatever he's doing, whether it's playing too rough or trying to open the turtle tank. The next pet is my dear old cat. Probably not the oldest, but still one of the elders. His name is Jack, and actually has a twin sister named Jill. So their names are Jack and Jill accordingly. And let me tell you, he is the sweetest, loving old man. I'll be honest, he's the only one that really stays in my room most of the time. As I was in school for the spring semester, I am mostly on my computer, finishing homework, attending Zoom classes, drawing, editing, all activities that have me staying in my room. I mean, sometimes I take a little nap, and Jack will sleep next to me. Jack also just watches me draw. Does it hurt my wrist sometimes? Yeah, but what's more important, my cat's comfort or my dumb little human wrist? So as a human, I feel like I would show my artwork to Jack. I don't really show my artwork to people in real life, but I do enjoy the company of my cats when I draw. He doesn't understand, but I love him for staying by my side most of the time. I also gave him the fit that every Navajo elder wears when they go to town. A nice black vest can put together any button up. I also like to think Jack is traditional and wouldn't cut his hair short. Now to address the crutches. Unfortunately, he does have trouble balancing, but doesn't affect him as much. The only time you really notice is when he runs and he straggles to the side a little bit, or when I'm playing with him and he accidentally loses his balance. Other than that, it doesn't seem to affect him as much when he walks or jumps, hence the crutches I gave him. I don't know what Jack has, so I assume that he may need crutches to help him when he has a hard time staying upright. I'm only guessing he has a balancing problem. So he likes to follow me around and gets the occasional zoomies, so I imagine human Jack would be an old man who does housework and chores when he should really be resting. I have no idea why he is imbalanced. I was told that him and his sisters were purchased at a local flea market, and a vendor had stuffed multiple litters in a small cage, with some having their feet dangle through the grid. My mother was the one to purchase him, and in my culture, it's a taboo to purchase cats and dogs, or else you're condemned to poverty. And I mean, they're kind of right, but I feel hyperinflation is unrelated to this. Even if I found out somehow that my family struggles with money because I bought those little kittens all those years ago, then I would do it again. He's the sweetest old man. And a little side note, he has been to the doctor, but like I said, it doesn't affect him that much, and he's totally fine. We're to start with Sharkbait. As you probably noticed, she has the most bizarre name, but that's because my uncle named her after her fur coat looking like a shark. Before, her name was Ash, so that'll be her human name. I would say she feels like the fragilest, lightest cat I own. So, as a human, I would make her pretty short and petite, as she's the smallest cat I have. For that reason, even when you pet her very lightly, it feels like you're unintentionally pushing her down. But she's very sweet and soft-spoken, as her meows are so quiet that you might miss it. I usually see her sleeping with the other cats and is the only one that tries to play with Richard, and I feel like the only reason she does that is because Richard is extra gentle with her. The other cats like her for her shy nature, but she's also very bubbly and loving. She usually hangs around the other cats, however, she actually prefers to sleep next to Jack and Jill, making little biscuits on their stomach. For that reason, as a human, I'll headcanon her as Jack's grandkid. Sharkbait also has a fur coat pattern of white all over her belly and lower face, so I gave her vitiligo where her white fur is. I believe Sharkbait is a sweet cat, but I also think she could be unintentionally mean as well. As I mentioned before, all of my activities are in my bedroom, and quiet. So it's fair to say that my cats are used to me being quiet most of the time. But when I'm home by myself, I like to listen to music, and sometimes I like to sing with the music. But Sharkbait doesn't like that. She, very politely, comes to me and very gently pats my leg until I stop singing. It's either her way of seeing what's wrong, or telling me to be quiet since she doesn't always do it. I mean, I don't always listen to her and I keep jamming out, but I'm glad she's polite about it. So I feel like she would be a polite, soft-spoken person, but is very direct. I gave her a light academia outfit as I think she would like the student aesthetic as a human, and likes to wear more coordinated outfits that give her a softer look. If I think about it, I can only think of a couple pets that seem would actually coordinate aesthetic outfits, and Sharkbait would be one of them. So for my final lineup, these are my pets designed as humans. As I mentioned before, I have many other pets, so if you like this video, leave a like and consider subscribing, so I know that I can continue to make this mini-series. I would love to continue to show off my pets, to be honest. If you'd like to see the finished artworks or a couple of comics, then I highly recommend to check out my socials, link in description. And with that, I hope you be safe and have a good day. See you in the next one!